All right, sales job, Niagara Falls. Sales and leasing consultant, 50 to 100 grand a year, not bad. I could do that. 70 to 110. Auto Canada Inc., 300 grand a year, that's more like it. Director of sales. I could do any of these jobs. I'm a realtor. Automotive sales consultant, hey, I could do that. I'm one step above a car salesman, a used car salesman. Lots of jobs. I'm not worried. Hello again, everyone. My name is John Flynn with Flynn Real Estate, serving Southern Ontario. Here again to give you my honest and professional opinion regarding the 2022 Canadian housing market. So before I get into the big pay cuts, let's talk about the bull traps. So I've heard some talk and some comments on bull traps, and we see it in the stock market a little bit. So let's just check it out real quick before I get into the other stuff. Of course, it brings us all back to the stages of the asset bubble. And you can see over there the bull trap where we're in denial and a bull trap comes, return to normal, but it's not a return to normal. It's just a trap. And of course, in the last couple of weeks, we've seen, the stock markets do well, the Dow Jones. Actually, the Dow Jones, it doesn't look like a bull trap at all. It just looks like a normal fluctuation. But if you look at things like Bitcoin's already had a bull trap. Now, some people might think it's headed for another bull trap, or maybe it's a rebound, who knows? But let's see how it relates to real estate. So here's an overlay of the past 5 years of the Ontario sales, and you can see there is no bull trap. It's headed straight down still. This is up until present day in July, so July 25th today. This is the data right up until then, the average sale price, and it's continuing to head down. We're about 5% loss over June already so far in July. So it's safe to say at this point there is no bull trap in real estate. We're still trending in the same direction, down, and we'll see how far it goes. So the big question is, will the real estate agents be taking a pay cut? Of course they will. Anytime the market turns down, there's always less sales, prices decrease, you're going to take a pay cut. I tend to think of last year, 2021, as a bonus as opposed to the new normal, where some agents actually do consider it the new normal, and it's hard not to sometimes because you're on this high of making all these sales, making record income, and the thought of it ever declining doesn't make sense. Just like the speculation with the real estate market, how it's never going to go down. Some people said it's going to stay up there forever. Prices are only going to go up. And that's how some people and some agents think of their income during those times, right? So I wanted to kind of just get some numbers on real estate agents, how many there are, what they make, and things like that. So I've compiled a bunch of data, and we're going to go through it. And we'll see what kind of a pay cut they'll be taking, because they're definitely taking a pay cut. There's less sales and the prices are declining, right? So all this data has come from CREA over the years. They actually don't have it compiled into one nice friendly graph for me. I had to get it from years of press releases and whatnot, but I compiled it all to get it as accurately as I could. So let's see what we have. Monthly national MLS sales in Canada, and you can see we're just below the 10-year moving average. We're actually average, 40,000 sales a month in Canada is average. So it's when you hear the reports that our sales are down year over year, they're coming off of record highs. So let's just preface this by saying sales are normal now, and this is not going to take any work or bad markets to make lower sales numbers. They are going to probably trend lower, but they are at a normal level, and the last couple of years was not normal. The number of brokers, agents, and salespeople, as CREA puts it, the Canadian Real Estate Association, and I remember I'm always saying 98,000 members. This is as far back as I could accurately get the data. So in 2007, we had approximately 98,000 members, and now we're just over 150,000 members. I put it at about 152 for 2022. But 2021 was 150,000. So we have 55% more agents since 2007. And here is our average sales price in Canada since 2007. And we've gone up 144%. So 55% more agents, but 144% higher sale price. And that's for 2022. Our average sale price will drop a little bit once the year factors into it, but right now it's at 747,000 approximately, and it was 306,000 back in 2007. And the historical look at the number of transactions or deals per year through the MLS as per CREA stats, and you can see actually 2007 was a really good year, and they dropped after that, and you can see 2021 was a good year, and it's also dropped now. I projected 2022, we're at 288,000 sales for the first 6 months. That's obviously going to drop for the next 6 months, so we'll be approximately 500,000 sales this year, which is more in line with the normal. So nothing too detrimental to the sales, just it's going to be a normal year. Next year probably be more along the normal sides too. And I just did a little overlay here, which is very interesting. This line I put over the transactions per year is the Bank of Canada overnight interest rate, or the Bank of Canada interest rate. So you can see it came off a big high back. It was only 4%, but it looks like it's coming from the sky. So as you get to about 2014, where they dropped that rate really low till I think it was about 0.25 or maybe 0.5 then, our sales increased. Then in 2017, 2018, when they started to raise the Bank of Canada interest rate, you see our sales decline. And when it went really low, our sales went through the roof. And now it's going back up and our sales are declining. So it's a very clear pattern. Like I always say, our prices are linked to interest rates, and you can see interest rates are high, prices are low, and vice versa. So now average number of transactions per year per agent, or per agent per year, the transactions. Most people don't know this, but just like anything in the rule of 80-20, 80% of the agents make 20% of the money, and the top 20% make 80% of the money. It could be 70-30 or 30-70, but that's how it works in real estate, just like every other sales jobs. Now you'll see in 2018 that dropped. Interest rates went higher, market slowed down, so less deals per agent. This year I'm projecting about 3.3, and it's not significantly lower that we're going to do less deals, but there's more agents, and the market has slowed, but we have so many more agents, and we probably have the same number of deals as 2013 and 2014, but it's going to be less per agent because there's so many more agents now. And that's my projection if sales don't drop any further. So if the number of transactions stays the same for the rest of the year as it did in, say, June, this is what it's going to be, 3.3. So it could be lower. So I'm giving the benefit of the doubt here. So before I can calculate the agent's wages, or the average wage, I want to run some scenarios. So the first scenario, if the prices don't drop any further for the rest of the year, they stay leveled off at 665,000 or whatever they were in June, the latest number, average with the first 6 months of the year, it's about 707,000 for the average sale price for the rest of the year, and this is what the agents would make. They'd be making approximately 68,000, and prior in 2021 they're about 91,000 per agent. So that's a 23.5% lower income than the previous year. That's with no further declines in sale prices, and of course, consistent sales that aren't going to drop any further. Now, if we have just a 5% decline or further decline in prices from June, just 1 month, and we've already had that in July actually, but let's just say it's only 5% more and then they level off for the rest of the year, it's 690,000 for the average sale price in Canada, which is very close to the 2021 sale price. And the agents take a bigger loss. I think they're about $64,000 income, 25% pay cut. And lastly, I just want to project next year. So this year we had a good start, so it's not going to be a bad year for most, but they are going to take a 25% cut minimum. It could be more, but for sure they're taking a 25% pay cut. I think it's more like 35 by the end of the year, but I'm giving the benefit of the doubt here for my own sake. So next year, if we decline 30%, which we're going to do, we're already at like 18-19% already, so this is 30% from the peak, and we stick to that for 2023, our average sale price in Canada will be 628,000. That's not even pre-pandemic levels, by the way. If you look, it's not even close. So this is the high end. But again, let's give the benefit of the doubt to the market that it's not going to crash and it's not going to tank. And we're not going to have as many transactions per year, but we'll put it somewhere along the long-term average. I chose 460,000, which may be 2019 or so, but again, still strong sales, just not record years for a number of sales. And that would leave agents with a 37% pay cut in 2023, which is pretty big. And those are conservative numbers. It could easily be 50%. Now, these commissions were based off of an average of a 3% commission rate. In places like BC and Alberta, the average commission could be anywhere from 2.9 to 3.5. Ontario, it's a little bit higher. But you got to remember, you have splits with your broker and your fees and whatnot. This is gross income too. This does not include expenses. These are not ends; these are sales. So we're including both sides of the sale. So it's an accurate reflection of what an agent would actually make. So a 37% cut in the average agent's income, which is pretty significant. That's from the high of 2021. But you got to remember, we have an ever increasing number of agents. If you look back at the graph of total number of agents, it's never gone down. It always just keeps going up. Yes, some will leave the business, some will join, but I don't see a significant drop in the number of real estate agents. So they will be getting a pay cut. There's no doubt about it. It could be anywhere from 25 to 50%. If average selling prices in Canada drop back to pre-pandemic levels, and you can look here on the graph, let's say 2018 to 2019, which is not that unrealistic, but even say 2019 levels, the average agent will be taking a 50% pay cut from 2021. They're going to have to adjust. Many of them will leave. They have bills to pay on top of bills when you're in real estate, so they have no choice. They'll have to get other jobs. Maybe they'll work at Home Depot, as one of the viewers commented on me that I probably work at Home Depot. I just don't think he liked my data, or she, I don't know who it was. But there will be agents that will be doing other jobs. I've seen it even in good times. Even in the best of times, many agents have other jobs. They have another job, they don't quit, and they start real estate and they do it part-time. Be warned, you agents that think everything is going to be the same as 2021 for the rest of your life. It's not the way. That was a bonus year. You should be prepared for the bad times just like you are for the good times. So yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Just the number of agents and the deals they do per year and the amount of income the average agent makes. 20% of them make most of the money, and that's how it always is, and that's what will return. And yeah, the other ones will have to get creative. Now, as I said, a lot of agents do have other jobs. A lot of agents have other businesses. They're not just involved in one business. They're self-employed. They have that mindset that they are self-employed. So they'll have to focus on one business instead of two, right? And won't be able to carry both. I know there's a lot of viewers that like to blame the agents and think about how much money they make, and people in general, they think, oh, how much money you're making these days. But it's not always like that. It's not like a CEO or a politician, right? A politician, they get raises even when the times are bad. Same with CEOs. CEOs, like I don't hear CEOs getting pay cuts. They might not get as big a bonus as they usually get, but yeah, real estate agents, they move with the times. So times are good, things are great, but when times are bad, they're not so great. So you have to learn to live within your means. First thing I learned in real estate before I even became an agent was you plan for the bad times and enjoy the good times. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something from this episode. And until next week, I'll see you then.